from a ball review. And since my goal is to get more kids into bowling, all these ball reviews are people with like 18 to 20 miles per hour. And us kids, normally we're bowling around anywhere from 10 to like 13. So this ball review is really different. It's more of the slower ball speed players, or if you're like me, rev dominant players. So here we have a Brunswick mindset and a DV8 Troublemaker. I got them both at Junior Gold. This one was Survivor. This one was the DV8 Shootout. And I've been practicing with them for a little bit. And so far they're doing pretty good. And I drilled this one just like my pitch purple over here. So it's gonna have a little snap at the end, which is gonna make it stronger. And the mindset is drilled to be really smooth and not really snap. So they're both really good balls, and for me, they're really good for the longer patterns, maybe heavy oil, stuff like that. So we're gonna hop in to bowling with them. I already warmed up a little bit, so let's do this. So here is my pitch purple. Like I said, my Troublemaker's drilled just like it. So first I'm gonna throw a shot with my pitch purple, and if it strikes, then it strikes. And then the next shot I'm gonna throw with my Troublemaker, so you can see how they're kind of similar. But since the Troublemaker's not urethane, it's gonna hook more. So this ball's not gonna hook that much. And I'm gonna stand 35 with my feet and aim about 15 at the arrows. Okay, that wasn't really 15. Oh, trip 7. Okay, so that wasn't 15. As you saw, I threw it a little further left. I threw it about like 17 maybe, but that was a pretty good shot. I struck trip 7. I threw that ball 11.88 miles per hour, which is pretty fast. So now, but also it's pretty slow compared to like the pros and older kids. So now I'm gonna do the Troublemaker, show you how that reacts, and I'm probably not gonna strike, just because of how much it hooks. I'm gonna stand same place, throw at the same target to see, so you can see how it reacts. 35 to 15. As you saw, it hooks. This ball is more for heavier oil. It's also a ball for two-handers, but that does not mean that one-handers can't use it. But as you saw, that was also 0.4 miles per hour slower. So my pitch purple was 11.88. This ball was 11.49. So I had the pocket on the lane. I'm going to try it one more time. Moving a little more left, and 16 at the arrows. Nope, that was definitely not 16. So, sleeper trouble right there. Anyways, I didn't really hit 16. I hit more like 18. But as you saw, 11.9, so that was pretty good. The second shot, 0.2 miles per hour, or 0.02 miles per hour more than my pitch purple. So it hooks. It's a ball that hooks. So I'm mentioning my miles per hour, that's like 11, because us younger bowlers don't have that speed that the older people do. So, if we want a ball that doesn't hook, we may look at like, oh, a pitch black, for example. That looks really weak. He's playing on the gutter. And then you get it, you drill it, but you don't have the speed, so it just hooks. And you have to get used to it, of course, but I mean, the older kids, players, they have way more speed than us. So that's one reason why I'm doing this ball review, is so the people with the lower ball speeds or higher rev can understand what they actually do. So on this lane, I'm going to throw my mindset. So I'm going to throw my mindset. And this ball is drilled not to really hook. I'm gonna try standing at 35 and drifting maybe like 3 left, shooting 17 or 16. Okay, so as you saw, that ball's one of the stronger balls by Brunswick. I did drift a couple left, so that would make it go down a little further for me. But as you saw, it hooked, and I threw that not that fast. I threw it 11-2, so that is another reason why the ball hooked, because I threw it way too slow. So I'll try to pick up the spare. So as you saw, that ball went high or Brooklyn, but not too Brooklyn. It just went through the nose or hit the head pin. And if you don't know what that means, you can go check out my playlist, the tutorial playlist, and we should have a video on that. So like light, rollout, all those terms about bowling balls and what they do. So go check out that playlist, and I'm gonna try to make this. Nope. Alright. So as you saw, that ball didn't have that much rev. So since it didn't have that much rev, I threw that ball 12-8. And the less rev you have, of course, the less it hooks, but the more speed you have. The more it hooks, the more friction there is, and the slower it goes. So since I just threw it on this lane, I'm going to throw it on this lane, and I'm going to stand 40 with the feet and shoot 19. Okay. So 40, I didn't really shoot 19. I shot more like 21. So this ball actually threw it 11-8. So that's actually pretty fast. That's how I struck with my pitch purple on the first shot, 11-8-8. So as you see, the faster you go, the more pin reaction you get, and the more mesh inserts you get. So on this lane, so I'm gonna use my Troublemaker. Yeah, I'll drift 5 left, shoot 40. Drift 5 left to where I'm standing at 40, but shoot at 20. Okay. Here you go. Nope, that was a terrible shot. Okay, I completely missed my target. So I have a 5 pin here. I'm going to do the exact same thing, hopefully not throw it at 15, but as you saw, since this ball is strong, it actually came back, and it went light. It didn't really hook that much, and I 5 pinned. So I'm going to try to actually hit 20 this time, and hopefully it'll work. Better. Whew. Thankfully I made that 5 pin. But as you saw, I hooked it more because I didn't want it to go right and just do the exact same thing. So since I hooked it more, you saw it hit the left side of the 5 pin. I barely made it. But my speed was 11-2 as well, or 11-3. So that was on the slower side, so it hooked much more. So this lane, throwing my Troublemaker. Hopefully I can get above 11.5. Something like that. So I'm gonna just start standing at like like 40, 45, and I'm gonna shoot 20, 23 or 22. So here you go. Oh no. I got that one left. So I got that one way too far left. But targeting is one of the hardest things in bowling. It takes a lot of practice, and even though I've been bowling for 6 years, I've only been targeting for probably like 3 or 4. So I'm gonna try that exact same shot, maybe get a little further right. And since I have the pocket, hopefully I'll hit it. So I'm gonna try to hit 22. Here you go. Okay, 24, but okay. So as you saw, I didn't hit pocket, I hit more Brooklyn, but I also didn't hit 22. I hit 24, and my speed was 11.7, so that was a little faster, so that's better. And then I'm gonna throw, as you saw, I also shot my target a little left of what I wanted as 22. I shot 24, but since it was faster, I ended up making that spare, and that was good. So I'll try my best to pick this up. 610 is not all that hard, but that shot was also 11.6. That was pretty good, not the fastest. So a little tip on picking up like 10 pins, 610s. A lot of people might stand here and just throw straight, but the best thing to do is there's like a thing that says as the crow flies. It's a straight shot. Try not to hook it. So I'm gonna stand all the way here, 20, just middle of the lane. Little to no hook. And I made that spare. So I'm going to use my mindset on this lane. I'm going to stand 40 right here, 41, and shoot 20, 19 or 20. Hook it a little bit. There you go. For once I actually hit my target. So that was a good shot, pocket shot. The mindset's a great ball. It's strong, it's a really strong ball, but if you drill it weak, like I did, it's really good for these longer patterns because Tomball's house actually does have a lot of oil. So it's really good on this lane. That was 11.3 or 11.4 if you round up. So it still wasn't the fastest, but because I'm playing more left and just trying to not hook it as much, it gets down the lane a little further before it hooks right into the pocket. So on the 9th and 10th frame, so like I said, this ball is a two-handed ball. It's built for two-handers, but that does not mean one-handers can't use it. This ball's really great. It hooks pretty good. I mean, two-handers have a lot of revs, so what do you expect? So 35, I'm going to try to really flat my hand out and shoot 15, 16. Hook. So as you saw, even though I didn't play left, when I flattened my hand out, it just didn't hook. So, or didn't hook as much. So when you go like this and you try to get your hand flat, it makes it not hook as much, but sometimes it makes it not hook at all. So I'm going to try to pick up the spare. So as you saw, that was a pretty fast ball. 12-13, that's another reason why it didn't hook. Because since I threw it fast, it just didn't have time to hook. If I threw it a lot slower, it probably would have hit pocket. But also, whenever you flatten out your hand, that makes the ball roll. So that means you get technically more speed. I shot left. And whenever you don't want to shoot left when you're playing right. So I'm going to throw my Troublemaker, last frame of the game. Hopefully I can get a strike in here. But I'm going to try that same shot, just try not to shoot it left. And actually, I'm going to look like couple right so I don't shoot it left. Keep my hand flat. Hook. That hit more pocket. It didn't hit really good pocket, but it hit more pocket. So I'm thinking maybe moving a little further right, throwing probably that exact same shot, if I can make this. So I'm using my ice, I'm going to throw. That's another way. Instead of hooking at your sevens, you can throw it straight. This isn't a 7, but it's pretty close. I'm going to try to pick up this bucket. Oh, that's a good shot. That's a good shot. Yes, I made it. So I get another chance with my Troublemaker, and hopefully I can strike. This is the very last shot of the game. That shot was 12.35. It did hook, but it didn't have much time to hook, because if I would have thrown it a lot slower, I would have missed it. Maybe left the 8 pin. So throwing it fast is definitely helpful. You get a lot more reactions, a lot more messengers. So we have another tutorial on scoring because I have a spare right now, so I'm technically at 144 plus whatever I get this shot. So again, go check out that tutorial if you want to learn how to score. But I'm going to stand even further right, 25, shoot at 10, flatten my hand out. Well, that's a good shot. Woo! I struck. So as you saw, that was a little too far right because it did go Brooklyn. But I got lucky because I threw it. So that was still, I mean, that's like average, my average speed. 11:57. I shot 154 because I had 144 plus the strike, which was 10. Anyways, this ball, you know, as like my pitch purple, I would have stood like 35. With this ball, I need to stand 40 because of how strong it is. It's just with my speed, it just hooks. So y'all younger kids, you will experience, if you get balls like these, you will experience a lot more hook. And that's one thing, I don't like it to not hook, but then again, I don't like it to overhook. So this ball playing 40 at 20 is a really good example of that. So hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, share it out, and we'll see you next video.